If you're just joining us, we are now on the attack motive section that is inside of the detecting web denial of service, DDoS attacks, inside of the web security monitoring module of the SOC Level 1 pathway of Try Hack Me. You are inside of the SOC Level 1 playlist on this channel. And so far we've just discovered or reviewed the difference between denial of service and distributed denial of service, which is the video right before this one, and you can go ahead and find that if you haven't seen it. If you're watching this obviously in one big shot, then it's just in the timestamps. You should be able to just click the timestamps in the description below and you'll be able to get taken to that section of this episode. So let's talk about the attack motives that an attacker can potentially have. And this little thing right here can actually give us a really good introduction to it. So you have money, you have votes, and then you have, of course, a shop, right? And then we have the attacker trying to do some nasty things. So now that we've learned how attackers can launch DOS or DDoS attacks, we can look at why they do it. And so at first short glance, a short web service outage may seem minor, but for organizations that depend on constant availability, the consequences can be severe, leading to lost income, frustrated users, and reputational damage. So possible attack motives could be financial loss, right? If you disrupt services to stop or reduce sales, it actually ends up with the loss of revenue. Flooding an e-commerce website during peak holiday sales, that's a really, really good time to make them lose revenue. You know, peak Hollywood sales, holiday sales, excuse me, during those sale times, like for Christmas or, you know, let's say Valentine's Day, if they're selling chocolates or flowers or something, for those specific times, there's going to be a rush of orders that will come in. So if the service gets crashed, those rush of orders cannot be completed and the company loses revenue, because it's not like the person is going to just only buy from you. It's like, okay, maybe they prefer to buy from you, but if your service isn't available, they're on a timeline and they have to buy these gifts. So they're just going to go somewhere else to buy those gifts. So you will end up losing that revenue. Then there's extortion. So you crash the site and then you demand payment to stop the attack from taking place. And threatening a bank with a random or a ransom DDoS, that could be very much a big thing that can happen. A bank requires its services to be up. Clients need to log into their online banking to transfer money back and forth, to pay vendors, etc. So if clients can't access it, the bank is legitimately losing money. They will lose deposits, they will lose really big business clients, etc. If that's the case, then you have them in a chokehold and you can actually demand payment to stop the attack. Hacktivism is essentially when there's an activist group that wants to disrupt the services for either social or political protest. So think about, a Green Earth kind of a group wanting to stop the services of a refined oil or refinery or natural gas, whatever, something like that could be a social purpose. A political protest could be anything that has to do with anything with politics, like just one side wanting to attack the other one. So attacking government websites during election season is a good example of that. Distraction is a good one, redirecting defenders' attention while other attacks take place. So you're worried about trying to fix the server from being crashed while they're actually attacking some of your most secure or most sensitive data because you're just too busy trying to bring the services back up. That's actually really, really good diversion. So launching a DDoS while attacking other infrastructure is the best way. That's actually a really good way to do it. That's like a genius idea. Competition. So you disrupt a rival's service to drive up their costs or gain market share. Same thing, right? We talked about the holiday sales. You are selling flowers, somebody else is selling flowers, but they're the biggest flower sales company in your city. So you crash their service so people can't buy flowers from them for Valentine's Day. Now people have to buy from you. A competitor launches a DDoS during a product launch. Very, very sneaky. Denial of wallet, forcing the victim to rack up service usage costs. So the attacker repeatedly accesses the AWS simple storage bucket system, generating costs per request. That could be a really big thing. So if they keep doing that, right, AWS charges you per request. So it's like the more you use it, the more you have to pay for it. So that's a really big, expensive way to kind of drive somebody's budget out of their control. And then, of course, reputational damage, so causing customers to lose trust in a company, game servers crashing during launch day. That's like a big thing. So this is not an exhaustive list of these motives. Depending on the resources and the target, attackers can combine multiple objectives or pursue others. These are just some really, really common ones. As you can see, they can cause a lot of damage. So one of the examples of this actually happening in the real world, in the wild, on New Year's Eve 2015, the BBC was the victim of a DDoS attack and took its website offline. The site readers could not access articles for several hours as their request timed out or returned internal error messages. The group that claimed the responsibility was New World Hacking Group. So this is on the BBC website. So anti-IS group claims BBC website attack. Very interesting. A group that says it target online activity linked to so-called Islamic State has claimed it was behind an attack on the BBC's website. Very interesting. So that's one example, right? Carried out the DDoS simply as a test of the capabilities. Another one is in 2023, Microsoft experienced a large-scale 70. This was actually something that happened recently, and I think the number was in a day they lost over $150 million, some like crazy number like that. The activist group Anonymous Sudan claimed responsibility. Attackers used techniques such as HTTP flooding and slow LoRa's to overwhelm web servers, causing major disruptions for Microsoft customers around the world. So this was actually a very expensive day for Microsoft. So which attacker motive aims to make customers lose confidence in a company? And that would be reputational damage that we saw right there. And let me spell this right. Oh no, damn it. Man, I can't type today. Which motive most likely drove the 2023 DDoS attack against Microsoft? And that could be, I would say, financial, right? So, nope, it's not financial. So, what is it? Denial of wallet, competition, maybe? Distraction, hacktivism, extortion, financial loss. So it could be competition. So let's see if it is competition indeed. It is not competition either. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder which one it is. So just reading through this article at Cybersecurity Drive, this was the link that was available here. It's a layer 7 DDoS attack, which was on the application layer. Hacktivist group claimed responsibility. They used it to overwhelm web servers, causing major disruptions for Microsoft customers around the world. So it could be reputational damage. It could be, I don't think it's denial of wallet, but it could be because it's saying attackers repeatedly access AWS. Competition didn't work. Distraction can't be it. Maybe it is distraction. It could also be hacktivism, I guess. Extortion, financial. I mean, so many of them could be the thing. So I don't think it's denial of wallet. So if it is, what was the other one? I forgot them already. Distraction, maybe. So let's see if it's distraction. That's not it either. So it's not distraction. It's not competition. Hacktivism, extortion, maybe? Extortion? No, it's not it either, man. What is it? Is it hacktivism? That can't be it. Hacktivism. Is it hacktivism? Oh, wow. Really? Why would that be the case? So, Anonymous Sudan. Let's read about this. Anonymous Sudan is a hacker group that has launched DDoS attack against Western organizations. Okay, so I guess that makes sense. So against Western organizations, maybe that's what it is. Like they want to attack Westernized companies, and so that's the reason why it falls under hacktivism, because it's like a social / governmental kind of an attack. I guess I kind of don't see it, but whatever. Fair enough. So hacktivism. That's basically what it is. So these were the various types of attack motives that we just learned about. So now we can move on to the next piece, which is the detection element of this. So now we know what types there are. We know why they would happen. So now we need to learn how to detect them. And of course, the very first one is going to be log analysis.